Well, how would you like to know 3 things about video projectors that you didn't already know?
Oh God, just what we need. Another webinar about freaking projectors.
Easy now, buddy. Today we have a few tips and tricks to give a shot in the arm to your projector business.
But we already know what we need to know about commodity projects like projectors, don't we?
Generally, I would say yes. So today, Neil, I'll introduce you to some specialty concepts that bring some profit margin back into projectors and that helps you fit right into the collaboration culture that we're all working in right now.
All right, I'm all ears, but this better be good.
Well, I think it might be. So I'm Clay Stalka.
And I'm Neil Weber, and today we're going to spend our coffee break discussing how we can double our pixels.
And double our fun. I mean profits.
Now, will there be gum involved, Clay?
It's a metaphor, Neil.
Oh, right. Sorry.
So I think we'll all agree that the biggest component in meeting and learning spaces today is screen sharing. You know, getting multiple devices up on the screen at once. Well, we're all doing that now with products like ClickShare, Novo Connect, Kramer Via, AirMedia, and the like. But what was a novel idea a couple of years ago has now become mainstream, and it's unveiled some unexpected consequences, let's say. So Neil, what have you found when you're hosting a meeting with 2, 4, or even 6 screens up on a flat panel display?
Well, right off the bat, I noticed that the resolution is poor on those desktop images, and especially that's when we're trying to read a spreadsheet or a technical document.
You're exactly right. What else?
Even on that big 84-inch display that cost us an arm and a leg, there's just not enough image real estate to show adequate-sized images for those in the back of the room.
Right again, Boy Wonder.
So what now, Batman?
Well, this is exactly where the value of projectors comes all the way back around. Now, I don't want to tip my hand quite yet, but just in the case of screen size alone, cost analysis shows a better value in providing more image real estate, right?
Well, you're right, no doubt, but a larger-sized unreadable image doesn't do anything for me. And 4K projectors are still out there a ways in affordability, aren't they?
Yeah, and what can you do with 4K if you're still only working with a 1920 by 1080 or even a 1920 by 1200 source image?
Well, I suppose I'd have to go with some kind of video wall, right?
Well, you certainly could, but remember that requires processing, and that often puts the solution out of reach for places like meeting rooms and learning spaces. So can you think of another solution, maybe?
Well, let me get my crowbar out and we can just stretch that LG display that we got down to the Best Buy.
I don't think that'd be covered under warranty. So let me reach into my secret tool belt here and I'll find a better solution.
I can hardly wait.
Well, this is introducing the Barco Panorama Projector. This is the CRPN 62B. Now, it gives you 2560 by 1080, or what we call WQXGA resolution, at 5500 lumens with a whopping 21:9 aspect ratio. So you can easily share highly detailed information in a side-by-side manner.
Whoa, so it really is like stretching a display half again wider.
Well, sort of, except it adds the additional pixels of resolution width-wise, so the side-by-side images are clear and legible.
Well, now I see where you're going with this. This is a big deal for collaboration environments.
Well, I think it really is, Neil. There are 6 available lens options from an ultra-wide angle through a long-throw zoom lens.
Okay, so how do we connect this thing?
Well, there's a couple of different ways to do that. First, there's 2 dual-link DVI-D ports and 2 HDMI ports. So you can set the projector to dual head mode, and the first DVI-D or HDMI device will automatically display on the left side of the screen, while the second DVI-D or HDMI device will automatically display over on the right side.
Well, that's easy. But what about connecting wirelessly with mobile devices? Because isn't that what so much of the collaboration culture is all about?
Well, it really is. So this is where the Panorama Share Bundle comes into play. This gives you the CRPN62B panorama projector, along with a ClickShare CSC1 and the proper dual-link DVI-D cable that allows you to display the high-resolution images wirelessly across the wide aspect screen.
Now, for those of you who might not know, the ClickShare CSC1 allows anybody to present wirelessly from a Mac or PC and from iOS or Android mobile devices. It even allows iOS mirroring through AirPlay now. So up to 64 participants can be connected in a meeting, and 4 can display on screen at one time.
So all of a sudden, a projector has become really relevant once again.
Relevant and revolutionary at the same time. At last, we have a solution for mid-sized and larger meeting rooms and learning spaces that embraces the collaboration culture that everybody is clamoring for.
Now, here we have the CTPN41B. Now this one displays a 2560 by 1808 native resolution at 3800 lumens brightness. There are 7 different choices of lenses for this projector, from ultra short throw to a long throw zoom. Now this model even has an optional noise reduction kit that reduces the projector's noise to just below 25 dB.
Silence is golden.
What?
Huh? Wait, so anyway, what are these panorama projectors really bringing to the table? So it seems like they're bringing us the ability to have multiple images side by side in a high resolution quality. For a larger display format, this really provides something that you just can't get with a couple flat panels side by side, right?
Well, the main takeaway here is that with dual or multiple displays, you cannot easily show several laptop or mobile desktop images across those displays without the use of an expensive processor. Not to mention, of course, that it wouldn't be practical to have such a processor change the extended desktop layout on the fly. Now, with the combination of a Barco panorama projector and, of course, ClickShare CSC, you can have all that flexibility along with wireless connectivity to boot.
Well, that's a lot to ask of a system, any system, frankly. And here there's no programming, extensive setup, or configuration required, right?
Yeah. Hang a projector and hang a screen and plug in a ClickShare, and really that's it.
Speaking of ClickShare, I understand that it can now run on the enterprise network rather than use its own access point in places that so choose. Can you tell us a little bit about how that works?
Sure, I'd be glad to. With the current firmware, ClickShare can be configured to operate in what's called corporate network mode. Now, when you put a ClickShare on the enterprise network, you can go into the admin menu and choose the corporate network tab. There you'll be asked to register with Barco to receive an authorization code. Now, there's no cost at all to this. It's just a matter of registering so that Barco can properly support your installation. Now, upon receipt of the authorization code from Barco, enter it into the box, and this will turn off the internal access point and allow wireless connectivity right through the enterprise network. Of course, you need to pair the buttons again after you make these changes.
Cool and simple. But is there anything that needs to be done on the network side?
Well, that, of course, depends on the network, Neil. The main thing is that the wireless network, or VLAN, that the users will be connected to needs to be able to communicate with the wired network segment that the ClickShare is connected to. Well, Barco has a really nice white paper on configuring the network for ClickShare. And you can find it on the Barco portal right on Starin's website.
Awesome. So Clay, let's take a quick break in the action. I want to talk a bit about next week's AV Meetup Coffee Break.
Okay, go ahead.
So next week we're going to be welcoming special guest Steve Wise from Grass Valley. He's going to talk to us about some of the great successes they've had with houses of worship and with rental and staging companies. And with a last name like Wise, you know we're going to be in for some serious knowledge. You know, if you take a look inside any network station or remote truck parked outside of a major sporting event, you're going to see Grass Valley gear. Since Belden acquired Grass Valley this spring, the brand has become even more prominent in the church market and in conference centers, convention halls, and government facilities. They call it glass to glass, meaning Grass Valley and its partner companies provide everything in the signal chain, from acquisition to viewing. I like saying glass to glass. It makes me sound sophisticated. As more and more of these venues and facilities are turning to live broadcasting and streaming of events, you're going to need to be prepared to step up to the quality that Grass Valley can provide. So, how'd you like to add a couple $250,000 jobs next year? I think we all would. Join us next week at the same time to learn how you can with Grass Valley. So, be sure to join us next week, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, Clay, I seem to remember that you had 3 things about projectors that we didn't already know. So the first is the Panorama projector. Very cool. The second is the Panorama Share Bundle with the ClickShare CSC1. But what's the third thing we should learn from today's coffee break?
Well, Neil, the third thing we all need to know about projectors is the dawn of the bulbless projector era.
I'm not sure that I've ever seen a rat wear a leather jacket and have an ear. Well, maybe in New York. I don't know. But
yeah, I get it.
Haven't the laser projectors, though? They've been out for a few years now, right?
Yeah, they have. But the technology was in its infancy. And now that it's begun to mature, manufacturers have split along 3 paths in bringing products to market. You know, there are those on the high end who have projectors that are driven by RGB lasers, like you see in the picture here, you know, and those more prominent in our integration field that use blue lasers driving phosphors. Now on the high end, this RGB laser technology has allowed previously unheard of brightness, such as the Barco 6P 60,000 lumens 4K cinema projector that I saw a few months ago when I was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I saw that too, and it certainly was punching 4K holes through the sun, but that's not necessarily the market for all of us.
Right. Those are primarily for cinema, large venue, and of course outdoor projection applications.
So how has some of that technology trickled down to us as integrators, though?
Well, that's exactly where the laser phosphor projector comes in. Here, there isn't any direct laser light of any significant amount coming from the projector. So first off, it's safe. Secondly, it uses inexpensive blue lasers just to create a very efficient light source. Now, no LEDs are used in this kind of projector.
And what's the third path?
The third and the least expensive, Neil, is the laser hybrid projector that was brought out by Casio several years back, if you remember. Here you find a combination of LEDs and laser diodes. Simply put, the LEDs create the image and the laser pumps in the brightness, if you will. But these hybrids are not currently able to put out very many lumens or much brightness.
All right, I'm getting confused again. So what does this mean for all of us?
Well, Neil, I'll answer your question with yet another question. What is it that matters most to you insofar as projections are concerned?
You know, I think I want what everybody wants. I want the right amount of brightness for the job, good color reproduction, and low cost of operation.
Bingo. That's exactly where the laser phosphor projector stacks up. They're all that and so much more. So let's take a look at exactly what a laser phosphor projector brings to the table. First, we all know that they're low maintenance with no bulb to change and, of course, no filters to clean. Next, there's no warm-up or cool-down time, so the projector can be cycled on and off multiple times nearly instantaneously. This is especially important in hospitality, reconfigurable meeting rooms, and, of course, rental and staging applications. A laser phosphor projector can also operate in a 360-degree orientation, unlike a traditional projector. So that makes it perfect for special displays, digital signage, and unusual integration applications as well. Next, they have a much longer lifespan. Now, while a traditional projector may last as long as maybe 10,000 hours in eco mode and under the right circumstances, a laser phosphor projector will last upwards of 20,000 hours. And unlike LCD or DLP projectors, there's no brightness decay as the projector gets older. And due to the nature of the laser-driven phosphors, the image quality and the color reproduction is absolutely exceptional. This is something you really can't say about the less expensive hybrid projectors.
Well, I guess at the end of the day, I would say it brings us a much lower total cost of ownership.
Well, exactly. You know, it's kind of like one of those pay me now or pay me later scenarios. They're a little salty up front maybe, but when it's all said and done, a laser phosphor projector is a much, much better investment.
Very true. Hey, Clay, we have a question from one of our partners here. Here it is. Question is, can you give us an example of a laser phosphor projector that we should be considering?
I was just about to go there, Neil. Let me find that slide.
Beautiful.
So here's a good example. It's the Barco PGW62L. Now, this is the quietest laser phosphor projector on the market currently. It has a 1920 by 1200 native resolution, 6,000 lumens, a 20,000 hour lifespan, 11,000 to 1 contrast ratio, and it's designed specifically for our integration field. Now, Barco also has pretty much the same projector in a 1280 by 800 WXGA model as well.
And you should contact your Starin Business Development Manager for pricing on those projectors and on the Barco Panorama projectors as well.
Well, Neil, it's time once again for somebody to win some real money.
Hey. Well, today we're going to give a $50 gift card to Eric King. And you know why? Because Eric attended the last 2 AV meetups, and this is his third AV meetup coffee break. Eric,
Hey.
stop me if you've heard this, Eric, but it's good to be the king today.
Yeah, as we used to say back in my broadcasting days, Neil, it pays to keep watching.
That's right. The more you watch,
Yeah, that's right.
we look, I guess, something. Well, remember, double your pixels with the Barco CRPN62B and a ClickShare CSC set.
And double your profits with the Barco PGWX62L laser phosphor and a ClickShare CSC set.
For more information, to register an opportunity or to set up a demo or to dive deeper into the product with a personalized online workshop, which I highly recommend, and they're very simple for us to set up. They don't take a whole lot of time, but we can go as deep into the project as you like, answer questions in real time. All you need to do is contact your Starin Business Development Manager directly or email us here at sales@starin.biz, B-I-Z. And remember, you can always go to our website and watch all of our AV meetup sessions on demand as well. We promise to do it all in just 20 minutes or less. So our time is up here, and we do promise to address any questions that you've asked. And it might actually even be Clay that calls or emails you with your answer. So thanks again for joining us, everybody. Congratulations, Eric. And we'll see you next week.